Loren from Tanglewood. We are sitting here, I'm sitting here, on our new property. You can see actually across the other side of the forest over here, you can see some buildings. That's Tanglewood over there. We're sitting on 4 hectares there. Recently purchased the 11 hectares here next door. We meet basically at the stream, near the stream. We have some on this side, some on the other side. And this land is mostly pasture. 11 hectares, probably 7.5 hectares of pasture, which is perfect for planting trees. Grass is not particularly good for the environment, and trees, of course, are. So we're going to plant trees. We're going to take out the grass. We're going to create swales. We're doing it now. We'll be planting peanut grass, which is a ground cover in the peanut family. It's a leguminous plant, so it takes nitrogen from the air, puts it in the soil, helps protect the soil from the intense tropical sun. And the swales allow us to hold water. Instead of the water running off into the stream, which is what would happen, the water goes into the swale, soaks into the ground. The tree roots have the chance to hold all this water, and we wind up with this bubble of water that can take a tree through a 5-month dry season without being watered. In fact, it's been said that in a properly developed system, once it's all in place, those trees could be okay for 2 years with no rain. And fortunately, that doesn't happen, at least not so far. Let's see what happens. We'll be walking over there. You can see I'm sitting on some blocks here, and there's some more blocks over there. We are getting ready to build a water storage. We have a spring here. The water comes up out of the ground, and we capture that water. Currently, it goes into a big plastic tank. We're going to create a larger tank of concrete blocks. It's less expensive that way, and it's a better system. And that water is then pumped up to the top of the property over there. We're also going to have the ability to pump water here, but in fact, if you look over there, we're going to be heading that way. But here we call a rancho here. It's a simple structure with a roof and some posts. And that was used by the people that owned this land before. They had cattle here, and they would use that for various reasons. We've got some things stored in there. It's a beautiful, you got a beautiful view from there, as you'll see when we get there. And what we're going to do, we're going to rebuild it because it's pretty rickety. The posts are old. It's falling apart, and it's too low. So what we're going to do is we're going to wind up taking it down eventually, and we'll rebuild a smaller structure there where people can sit. Our guests can wander over on a path. They'll cross a stream on a bridge. They'll come up on a path, and they'll be able to sit here and relax in a hammock, in a chair, what have you. But what we're going to do is we're going to dig down underneath where the rancho is. We're going to create a second tank there, and then we're going to collect all the rain off the roof. And the tank is going to be sized to capture roughly 100% of the annual rainfall on the roof. Now, obviously, the trees themselves, the swales, they're getting rain directly. But all the rain that falls on the roof will be capturing so that we can make it through the 5-month dry season. In the early years, where things may still need some water, we'll have plenty of water stored right there. Okay, let's head on over that way. Okay, so here we are close to the rancho. We're going to walk in here and get a look at what's happening down below. Come on down. Okay, so from here, you can actually see what we're doing. First of all, right here in front of us, we started here. We've got about 7 swales marching down the hill here. And you can see the little seedlings, small trees. The tallest ones are maybe a meter tall. Most of them are less than that. Various different varieties, because that's permaculture, where we want to diversify so we don't have one species constantly taking all the water out. And we have these trenches here, these swales that will collect the rainwater, and then the tree roots will have access to it. And there's one after the other. And you can see we started over here with the same technology. And we're going to keep going. We've got probably 1,000 trees or more that we'll need to plant as soon as possible. Now, we might not be able to plant all these trees this season because if it gets too late into the rainy season, there's not enough time left. Then what happens is the trees wind up going into the dry season without having had the chance to really get strong, fortify their roots, a bunch of water, and then we've got a lot more work to keep them watered. And I'm not sure how soon we're going to be. If we can set up, even with this as it is now, you can see the structure looks like it's about to fall over. It's probably not going anywhere, but it's not going to work as it is. But we're going to temporarily set up a guttering system here to capture the rain off of this. We're going to use the tank that we're liberating when we build the water tank down below. Down, you can't see because it's behind the tree over there. We're going to be liberating a 10,000 liter tank, and we'll put that here temporarily to capture the water from the roof, so that in the dry season we'll have water, hopefully 10,000 liters, so that we can go ahead and water the plants. When we're done with this tank, it'll be much bigger than that. It's going to be somewhere in excess of 50,000 liters. Okay, so here you can get a sense. You can see the 6 or 7, 8 swales we've built here. We're starting over there. Now in the middle here, there's a natural drainage channel, right? The land slopes this way, it comes down this way. Where this drainage channel is, we're going to create a big pond here. We're going to dam some of this. There'll be overflow when the thing gets full. There'll be channels for the water to flow down. So there'll be a stream. Maybe create a little fall there where the water will go over. And the stream will continue. There'll be another pond at the bottom. And the reason for making ponds is, again, so we have water stored for those times where there's not enough water, right? There's not always the rain you need. In the dry season, there's no rain. So we want to make sure we have plenty of water stored. With the tank here, with the swale system, and with 2 ponds, the one at the top is a lot more useful than the one at the bottom. Because the one at the bottom, we have to pump the water up to get to everywhere else. By building up here, we'll have this tank for here. This pond will have water above many of the swales, which means it's easy to drain with the hose right into the swales, right into whatever we need to water. But that's basically it. And you can see here, we still have a lot of land here. You're seeing here, maybe a couple of hectares at the most, perhaps 2 of 11. But the idea is to convert this grassland, it's almost all grass here, into a forest of fruit trees. There'll be fruit trees, there'll be ornamental plants, there'll be ponds, there'll be these water features, they'll create some trails, and it's going to be a beautiful place that's actually productive, where this grass doesn't do much for the environment of these fruit trees. And if you look around, by the way, you can see we've got them grouped by species. We have some avocados here, those are jackfruits over there. We have we have mangoes and cacaos and durians, and this is a Suriname cherry. I don't recognize that one. But we have many, many species to plant, probably 50 or 60 different fruit species to plant, some of which we already had but want more of, and some of which are new to us. So we've just started this project in the last few weeks. It's been maybe 3 or 4 weeks now. We've done a lot of work. This is all done by hand. It takes a lot of work, and there's still work to do here. This isn't perfect. We have to smooth things out. We have to make some improvements to this, but you're getting a sense of what's happening here. So this is the idea, and 5-6 years from now, we're going to begin to produce a lot of fruit here. And in fact, for anyone interested in the community, as the community starts building, we'll have to do most of the building first, and then we'll plant trees. That's typically what happens. But we're going to wind up having a lot of fruit here that we can share with those early community members until the community starts to produce more of its own food. All right, so that's what's happening here. I'm excited. I hadn't actually been here in a week. I've been so busy on the other side over there. It's great to get here and see what they're doing. Again, there's some things we're going to have to adjust a little bit, but you can see they're making great progress, and you can see they're taking the grass on here because the idea is just soil. The grass actually competes with fruit trees. And what we want to do instead is create soil, and then all this will be covered in a year. This will all be green. You won't see the dirt. It'll just be green. But in the meantime, now in the dry season, we would not want to leave it this way to be baking in the sun. Right now, it rains almost every day, pretty much every day. So it's not really so much of an issue. Still, we should be planting this very shortly. It'll be planted with ground cover. And this will continue to evolve as the other side has over 7 years. 7 years from now, I can't even imagine. The other side's going to be a complete forest, and this side will be getting awfully close as well. So, cool stuff. We'll come back another time for a status update, but you can see here how we're doing after just a few weeks. See you next time.